Alrighty guys, welcome back to Star Wars Review. Today I'm reviewing Star Wars Andor Season 1, Episode 10, One Way Out, which was directed by Toby Haynes and written by Bo Willimon, and was released on November 9th, 2022, which it was another incredible episode. Once again, Andy Serkis as Kino Loy was great. He's just been a standout in this series, which I've kind of said that for so many of the characters so far. I've just really loved, so many of them. And, just everything about this show has been great so far. But the episode does mainly focus on Cassian and Kino and the prisoners, escaping the prison and whatnot. There are a few moments with, the other characters on Coruscant and whatnot. I definitely say it's more than the Eye. Episode 6, which was the final episode of that Aldani arc. You do get more scenes of the other characters, or that episode is more like a few small, very small scenes at the end of the episode. Even though the episode is mainly set on Narkina 5 and the prison and whatnot, we do get some lengthy scenes of some of the characters on Coruscant. But like the stuff on the prison, the stuff on Coruscant was also great. But the episode, it picks up right where the last one ended. We see the doctor taking Ulof throughout the prison, kind of going by some of the other prisoners who are currently working. But it then cuts to Cassian now talking to Kino. They're kind of in a little shower or dressing room. But, Cassian is basically telling Kino that they have to escape and that tomorrow is their best chance, which Kino thinks Cassian is insane. But, Cassian tells him that there is a plan, which I guess is just to make a run for it when a new man comes down onto the floor. And, that the Imperials know that they don't have enough guards to defend against all of them, which, it seemingly convinces Kino, because they head back to their cells. And the other inmates are asking, what happened and whatnot, which Cassian tells them, Ulof is dead and whatnot. But Cassian tells them what the doctor told them about what happened on level 2 and whatnot, which not everyone believes Cassian, but Kino then speaks up and, says what Cassian is saying is true, which, they all kind of just shut up and listen to Kino, who, tells them that the Empire is never going to let them leave, and that, when their sentence is up, they're just going to be transferred to another prison. And he pretty much, alludes to that they're going to escape, which the next morning everyone gets up and Kino kind of gives another speech, basically telling everyone that today is the day and that they are going to escape. And, he says there's only one way out. But, we can see them, head to work, which over the loudspeaker we hear that, they're no longer allowed to speak in the tunnels. But, we see them, working and whatnot, making it like it's a normal day to, obviously, not make themselves look suspicious. But, Cassian then heads to the bathroom once he kind of starts noticing that it seems like the guards are kind of looking down on them, that the new man might be coming down. You see someone hand him this pipe, which, kind of everyone else starts to kind of get in position. But Cassian in the bathroom opens the wall and starts, going at the pipe in the wall, while we start to see the Imperials starting to take down the new man, which, there's kind of a, obviously some uneasiness with the guards and whatnot. But the one Imperial checks on everyone down on the floor, says it's all good, which gives the prisoners a go-ahead to fully get ready, which they kind of get their tools ready so they can use them as weapons. But Cassian is starting to kind of break that pipe, and the water starts, squirting out. But the alarm starts to go off, so it's kind of running out of time. But he gets the pipe to where it's, a crap ton of water is coming out, so then he kind of runs out and goes on program, while soaking wet. But the Imperials start taking down the new man on the lift and whatnot, which we see the two prisoners at Cassian's table, the two I don't even know the names of. They get into a fake fight, which kind of distracts the guards. You see the guards yelling at them and whatnot, which that allows Cassian to then take that pipe he had and kind of hit the track for the lift. So the lift, malfunctions, which, everyone, then starts attacking the guards as the guards start firing at them, killing a few, but Cassian eventually kind of climbs up to take out the guard, to attempt to take out the guards, but the guards then turn on the floors, which, we see Kino yell at everyone to get on the tables, but, there's obviously all that water coming out, and obviously, water and electricity don't go, they don't mix. It does end up killing a few prisoners, but it also deactivates the floors, kind of short circuits them, and so the power goes out and the floors don't work anymore. So the guards don't have that to use anymore. But Cassian then gets up on the up area and takes out the two guards, which then all the other prisoners start climbing and whatnot, and they then start going throughout the rest of the prison. You see Melshi and some of the other prisoners go into all the different floors and levels and whatnot, warning the prisoners on those levels what's going on and whatnot, telling them that it's time to escape. While we see Cassian and Kino climb the prison to the top floor, where they kind of get to the main room with the guy who speaks on the loudspeaker, which they tell the guards there to kind of turn the power off, which they eventually do after being threatened with blasters. But you see Cassian tell Kino to kind of talk into the loudspeaker, which kind of doesn't know what to say at first, which kind of Cassian tells him to tell everyone, what to do, which Kino then starts talking. He says his name and whatnot, tells them that they have control over the prison, which Cassian then says, is that the best you got? Which kind of inspires Kino to give this speech, which I really, really loved it. But, he says that, this is their only chance, and that they've turned the floors off, and that, there's not enough guards to kind of fight back. But, he also says that, for each prisoner to help each other out, and that if you see someone lost or in need of help, to help them. And, he says that if they work hard like they've been doing for the Empire, they will get out. And, he says there's one way out, which, we see all over the prison of the prisoners hearing that and kind of escaping. We see the doctor again, who's kind of confused about what's going on. We see some of the guards hiding in a closet, but, we see all the prisoners shouting one way out, which we see Cassian, Melshi, Kino, and whatnot arrive at the area. We saw Cassian arrive to at the prison in episode 8 and whatnot, but the only way out is to jump and swim away in the water. But as Cassian is talking to Melshi, he looks back at Kino, who is kind of looking a little scared and whatnot, which Kino says, that he can't swim. Which before Cassian can do anything about it, he gets pushed out into the water, which we then see a shot of Kino just kind of backing up, looking at and whatnot, which, that moment was just absolutely heartbreaking to see, because, I, over the last 3 episodes, I've come to just love Kino. At first, he was all for the system of the prison, but, in this episode finally sees its wrongs and leads the breakout, and then not being able to escape, because, he's just unable to go the only way out. And, he doesn't die, and, if he stays on the prison, and I don't know if the Empire, what they would do to him. If they don't kill him, then he's probably just going to stay in the prison and then get transferred to another one, for the foreseeable future, which is just, heartbreaking. But, it does also kind of parallel, where Cassian's story will end. Obviously, leading a mission to, better a whole lot of people, but not being able to, be one of the people who, gets the better life. Obviously with Cassian, it's galaxy saving, where Kino was just this prison of 5,000 people, but obviously it both matter, even though 5,000 people versus the entire galaxy is a very big gap. Obviously we don't know the exact population of the Star Wars galaxy, but I would assume it's a shitload of people. But I can definitely see where this moment, would inspire Cassian down the path he ends up going. But there is one more moment at the end of the episode of Cassian and Melshi now on land, running away. We do see some ships far in the background, kind of with the lights on, I would assume, looking for any of the prisoners. But that Melshi is with Cassian. I do wonder if we'll, be in the next 2 episodes. I would assume Cassian will be heading back to Ferrix, so I do wonder if Melshi will go with him. I have no clue. We'll just have to wait and see in the next episode. Which, speaking of Ferrix, we do get a very short scene there. We see some doctors heading to Marva's house. I guess Marva hasn't been taking her medicine and needs some more doctor help there. But we see Cynthia and this other guy. I'm pretty sure he's ISB or something, or Imperial. They're both watching over her house. But that's all we really got on Ferrix. There's a lot more stuff with the other characters on Coruscant, like Mon Mothma. We see her and Tacoma meeting with that Davos Sculdun, which, like every scene with Mothma was great. I really, really love this scene. We learn that Sculdun already has a relationship with Perrin, which, they both seem like douchebags, so it makes sense. But Sculdun talks about how he likes the Chandrillan marriage and whatnot. Basically the arranged marriage, which Mothma and Perrin had, which obviously Mothma, doesn't obviously like it, I guess, but she had to go through with it when she was younger, and I have no clue how it exactly works. I don't know why Mothma and Perrin are still together, but they then talk about Sculdun getting Mothma her money and whatnot, which Mothma tries to ask him how much they should pay him, which he says he doesn't want any money, which Mothma tries to insist on giving him money, but he insists on not taking money, but something else, which she asks him what that would be, which he says a return invitation to Coruscant, which Mothma at first is like, sure, whatever, but he then says he's going to bring his 14-year-old son, which Mothma, knowing what he means by that, she tells him, you can't be serious, which Sculdun says that he just wants his son and Lita, Mothma's daughter, to just meet, nothing more than that, just a meeting. But Mothma obviously wants nothing of it, and so she tells him to leave, but while he's leaving, he asks her to think on it, which she says she isn't going to, which Sculdun says that's the first lie Mothma had told today. But afterwards, we kind of see a very distraught Mothma, which I do wonder if she will go through with it, because she might not have much of a choice. She needs the money, and Sculdun's her best chance of getting that money. So it'll definitely be interesting there, kind of seeing her have to maybe make a terrible decision, and decision what's definitely mostly terrible for her daughter. But in this series so far, we've seen characters like Luthen who've sacrificed everything for the rebellion and has made terrible decisions which have badly affected people who weren't him. So I do wonder if this could be a moment where Mothma has to do something Luthen would do, even though so far we've seen that she wants to do the exact opposite. And she doesn't want anyone to suffer, but, she might have to for the rebellion. So now that would be interesting in the last 2 episodes. But we do get a scene of Clea going to Luthen, telling him about this mark on this fountain, which I guess means someone is willing to meet Luthen, which Luthen heads out to do so. But we also see another scene with the ISB, kind of a smaller meeting. Seems like their plan to bait Anton Krieger with that pilot they captured has worked, which we then see the one ISB officer, Lonnie, suggest to Partagas that they should make their presence felt there and head to where they planted the bait, make it seem not as suspicious, which Partagas agrees that that's a good idea. But then the shot kind of lingers on Lonnie for a while, which I thought was kind of weird at first, but we then later see him again heading down to the lower levels of Coruscant, which was cool to see in live action. But he heads this elevator and reaches like on top of it to find like this little earpiece, which he puts in and starts talking to Luthen, which even though he hasn't spoken to Luthen in a while, Luthen knows all about his life right now, and that Lonnie is now a father and has a daughter and whatnot, which Lonnie isn't, really happy about that. But Lonnie tells Luthen about Detramiro, how she's climbing the ranks, and how the ISBs are after this person they're calling Axis, who they believe is running a rebel network, and they think Axis is connected to this event on Ferrix and Aldani and whatnot, which Luthen makes it like he had nothing to do with any of that, and with Aldani and whatnot. But Luthen also knows this isn't exactly why Lonnie is there, so he asks Lonnie why he is there, which Lonnie tells Luthen, all about the ISB's plans with Anton Krieger, and how the ISB know that Krieger is going to attack Spellhouse, which Lonnie is basically telling Luthen to kind of warn Krieger about that and whatnot, try to get Krieger not to attack Spellhouse, which Luthen, basically says he's not going to do that. He's willing to sacrifice Krieger. He's going to let Krieger die because, he tells Lonnie that the ISB will think it's kind of suspicious and find out there's maybe some rebel breach inside the ISB, which wouldn't be good for Lonnie, but also because Luthen values Lonnie more than Krieger, which then Lonnie arrives at the very bottom level of Coruscant, where Luthen is like on this little catwalk. You kind of see the bottom one. It was cool scenery, but now Luthen and Lonnie are able to speak face to face, which Luthen once again asks Lonnie why he's really there, which Lonnie then tells him that he can't do what he's doing anymore. He can't be a spy and can't work for the ISB anymore, which Luthen then tells him that he can't leave, and that his position in the ISB is worth too much to the Luthen and the rebels and whatnot. Which Lonnie asks Luthen if his sacrifice means anything to him, which Luthen says it does and that whatnot. Which Lonnie says to Luthen, what do you even sacrifice? Which Luthen responds with a long speech, but he pretty much says his inner peace, his dignity, and at the end he yells everything, which I thought that was a great scene. But also nice to kind of get more into Luthen's head, kind of get more of his motives and whatnot, learn more of who he is and whatnot. Obviously, with Luthen, don't know how really, he's not a very truthful person, so I don't know how truthful he was being to Lonnie talking, but obviously I would assume he meant everything he meant when he was talking about his sacrifice, the sacrifices he's made. But Luthen then tells Lonnie to just stay with him and that the rebellion needs all the heroes they can get, which Luthen then shuts the elevator and sends it back up. But like I said, that scene was great. Really, really loved it. But also with Luthen, definitely interested to see where he goes. Beforehand, I was kind of not thinking he was going to make it past season 1, but I still feel like there's a lot of his story left, so I do think he'll be in season 2 and whatnot. So yeah, but all in all, that was an incredible episode. This and episode 6, the finales to the arcs have been very, very good. But this arc so far has probably been my favorite of the season. Just really, really loved it, and really, really loved Kino Loy, Andy Serkis. So yeah, but my grade, I'm gonna give it an A+. So yeah, but that's gonna be it for this one. You check out my review for episode 11 when that comes out. But in the meantime, check out my reviews for the first 9 episodes and everything else I do. But if it's hard to do, I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Spies, saboteurs, assassins. We've all done terrible things on behalf of the rebellion.
Cassian Andor. Don't matter what you tell me or tell yourself. You'll ultimately die fighting